Hello and welcome everyone. Today we are joined by Mr. Tarun Garg, Director Sales and Marketing, Hyundai Motor India. And we are going to talk about the performance of Creta, Venue, Verna, and all other favorite Hyundai cars. Hello, Mr. Garg. Happy New Year and a warm welcome.
Thank you, Anirban. A very happy new year to all of you. And it's always a pleasure to talk to you.
The SUV trend, the rising diesel demand, and the digitization. So let's come in these three aspects one by one. Especially, we have seen in your BSUV, CSUV, both Creta and Venue, there has been a significant demand for the diesel. So if you could tell us how things have gone on the rise, probably from 2018, where more and more diesel customers are coming in, and it's going against a lot of OEMs in the sense a lot of OEMs had said we are putting off the foot off the pedal because diesel isn't the future. But Hyundai progressed with diesel in BS6 era, and numbers are showing. If you could tell us something about the diesel the volumes for Creta and Venue, how are they doing in the diesel market?
So, Anirban, very important point you have raised. And Hyundai, of course, as you know, we get full support from our parent Hyundai Motor Company based in Seoul. So we were very confident that about our ability to really give the customers a very good diesel engine, which not only in terms of efficiency, fuel efficiency, or in terms of emissions, but also in terms of price will be very good for the customer. And that is what we were able to do. And in Creta, for example, close to 60% of the demand is in diesel. In Tucson, close to 80% of the demand is in diesel. In Venue, close to 30% of the demand is in diesel. And of course, petrol continues to do well. On top of it, we have the turbo option. We have various automatic options, whether it is the IMT, whether it is the DCT. So many options are there. And as a result of which, I'm happy to say that Hyundai Motor India, for the first time, became the number one SUV maker in the country. So we sold up more than 180,000 SUVs in calendar year 20 with a market share of more than 25%, which made us the number one SUV maker in the country. Even individually, when we see, Creta has become the number one selling SUV in the country again. So all those things combined very clearly reflect that our decision to really offer the customers with so many fuel types, with the latest technology, great design, and also so many features. For example, the sunroof, it is really being appreciated across the segments by customers. In fact, in i20, close to 30% of the bookings are for variants with sunroof. So very clearly, customers are really looking for latest features, and also connected cars. Connectivity features are being appreciated. The air purifier is being appreciated. The ventilated seats are being appreciated. The wireless charger is being appreciated. So customers are now much more evolved than before. They are global. They are looking at new technologies, and they want somebody to really offer them these technologies at a reasonable price, and then they are willing to really try them out. And this is what we are seeing in Hyundai.
Now, a couple of buzzwords that were, I would say, created by Hyundai in 2020 would be the IMT and the democratization of turbocharged petrol engines. You have everything right from the base i10 Neos to the top of the line Creta. You have turbochargers in all the cars. Now, just give me a brief perspective of how turbos are doing for you, since they are on the higher end of the price spectrum in whichever model you choose. So, give me a brief idea of how turbos are doing.
Anirban, this is very interesting, and turbo probably I would say is one revolutionary trend, because traditionally Indians were always looking at the cubic capacity, and we said always, okay, this CC. But turbo brought in this new concept of power, because the new age Indian customer is really looking at power along with fuel efficiency as well. I think that is extremely important. And when we entered the less than 4-meter SUV with the Venue, we introduced this concept of turbo, and I'm happy to report that more than 30% of the customers are now opting for that turbo option, which is extremely encouraging for us, because which clearly means that customers are really looking at adopting these new technologies. And then we were encouraged, we offered it in across the segments, whether it is the Creta or the Aura or even the Neos, and now in the new i20 as well, where again the response to the turbo is very good. That is the first part. The second aspect is the IMT. And there's a very interesting story behind it as well. when we see India and when we see the percentage of automatics in India, they hover around say 25%. Whereas when we see the global trends, automatics contribute maybe more than 85% to the overall sales. So when we did a market research, what we realized was that customers do not buy automatics because of two reasons. One is that they are looking at the price, the difference between the manual and the automatic. So I think that is one key factor. The second, of course, is the fuel efficiency, and third aspect is, while some customers said that they enjoy that changing of the gear, however, they did not enjoy this clutch or the three pedal technology, as we call it. So I think Hyundai is one company, like I said, we are always trying to really offer some new innovative technologies, and that is where this concept of IMT or intelligent manual transmission came in, which is a two pedal technology which gives the power to the customer to change gears, at the same time relieves him with the pain of really clutch in clutch out kind of a thing, and the price difference is only additional 22,000 rupees. So I think this has really been a big game changer for us.
I would come particularly to a product, a very popular product, Creta. Now, rumors around the social media or probably around everywhere is a seven-seater Creta. So, how much of a consolidated news it is? When is Hyundai coming out with a seven-seater version of Creta?
So Anirban, of course, Creta is a strong brand, and Creta has done very well. Like I said, it has become the number one SUV in the country, and so we are very proud, and we are so much thankful to the customers who have really given their love and affection to the Creta. Like I said, we have around 500,000 Cretas on the road, so it's a very strong cult brand, and we are always trying to increase production so that we can meet the ever increasing demand from the customers. Regarding the future products, I will refrain from giving any guidance on that. At the same time, as Hyundai, we have always looked for opportunities in any segment. We are always open, and we are always, our market research team is continuously looking at what are the opportunities available. In fact, if you see, when Creta was launched, there was this segment was very small. But we knew that we could foresee that customers was really looking for an SUV which can solve all so many of their problems, which can really be a very aspirational brand for them.
Another aspect I would love to touch upon is your electrification journey. Now, Hyundai was the first one to come up with Kona. It took us by surprise, but I would like to understand in a way that it did not get good numbers for Hyundai. So, have you taken your foot off the pedal from the electrification journey, or do we see 2021 to with more and more Hyundai EVs in mass market segment in lower price brackets?
Not at all. In fact, I would say that there is something called technology leadership and called a responsibility to the society. And that is where, like you said, you were surprised when Kona was launched, because we as Hyundai Motor India always feel that we have to work with the government of India, towards the drive towards cleaner mobility. And that is where I think Kona EV came in. And after that, of course, so many more models have come in. So we have made this big stride towards that. We also understand that Kona is more of a niche product, but at the same time, like I said, it has really opened the doors. We are not talking about the charging infrastructure, and we have already gone on record to say that Hyundai is already working on mass market EV, maybe in 3 years' time. So, this drive has already been done. This direction is always towards cleaner mobility. And we are looking at it not only in terms of, in fact, BS6, like I said, BS6 petrol, diesel, CNG, turbo, other options. And we are very, very closely working with the government, as well as, of course, guided by our parent HMC. And going forward, you will keep on seeing, our drive towards electrification and, of course, a cleaner mobility. So don't worry, we will continuously, provide Indian customers newer and newer products in cleaner mobility as well.
Now, by the end of 2020, you had quite a few very popular products, whether you talk about the Creta or the i20 or the Venue, and all of them had quite a long waiting period where the you have the 3 months waiting period for I-20 or for 5 months for the Creta. So are you trying to look at an expansion in production to meet the demand?
So, Anirban, frankly speaking, if you see last year numbers, about 425,000 vehicles in the domestic market, and of course, around 100,000 odd in the export market. So we still have capacity. So we have a capacity. So frankly speaking, our supply chain and production is continuously working very, very closely with us, and to really see how we can maximize the available capacity. And this is what we are trying to do. So if you see the numbers, Creta, we started with number of 9-10,000, and now every month we are doing about 12 to 13,000. Venue, we started with about 7,000. Now we have increased to 10,000. In fact, the Nios, we used to do about 7,000, and now we are doing 10,000. I-20, we are continuously doing 8 to 9,000. So what I'm trying to say is that our production and supply chain has been able to manage to improve the efficiencies, and we will continuously want to bring the waiting period down. And January, of course, we are already at full go. In fact, as sales and marketing, I would say I'm very thankful to our supply chain and production. Hyundai was the first company to start production, if you remember, in May, and we were the first company to have both plants at three shift operations very quickly. So we have full support from production and supply chain, and we feel that we will be able to meet the customer demand in 21 for sure.